Sigh. Another day alone with my oppressive thoughts. If only there was some kind of device I could use. This video is sponsored by Raycon. Their wireless earbuds, headphones, and speakers offer premium sound, useful features, an almost custom comfortable fit, and up to 54 hours of battery life. Guys, I'm sure you know this already, but maybe it snuck up on you. But my birthday's coming up real soon, and you know what that means? That means national parties, as I am a national treasure. You're all gonna be throwing your own individual celebrations of me. I know how it goes. And you're gonna have to get something for your significant other, for your family, for your friends. And what are you gonna do, huh? What are you gonna do? Give them the gift of your presents? Certainly not. So when you're looking for a gift absolutely everybody needs, Raycons are the way to go. And as the person giving the gift, you gotta love that they start at half the price of most other premium audio brands. Are you seriously telling me that you'd rather hear the sounds of your own thoughts than the sound of, like, I don't know, Weird Al Yankovic or something? What are you doing? And Raycon makes it pretty easy with holiday gift guides for everybody in your life. Your mommy, your daddy, that guy down the street that I saw the other day who was talking about how, like, God doesn't love you for who you are. Or knock that shopping list out all in one go and get 30% off by shopping Raycon's holiday bundles. You know, guys, the reason why I love Raycon is because my least favorite sound is the sound of other people. And these are just a lifesaver, honestly. Look, I know what you're probably thinking. Chris, I can find Raycon in stores now. I can find them in Kohl's. I can find them in Walmart. Why would I use your link? That's because I got the best link in the business, baby. What are you dumb? Oh, shit. Okay, so I actually caved in my mic. All right, I don't know how much time I have before my microphone explodes in my hands, so just use my special link. Click the link in the description box below, or go to buyraycon.com/raygun and use code EARLYBF to get 20% off site-wide. Or save even bigger and get 30% off of Raycon's holiday bundles, huh? There's going to be some different deals popping up throughout the season, and I'll try and keep the description box updated with all that information. But just so you know, you can always just go to buyraycon.com/raygun. Thanks to Raycon for sponsoring this video. Back to the show. Yo! Hello, everybody. It's me again. We're back here. We're back doing this. So last week, I uploaded a video ranking pretty much all of 2014. Well, not all of, but enough of 2014's games of the year. And some of those were like the official game of the years, games of the year of the Game Awards, and also just some extra ones that I threw in. And we judged them. This is 100% a stolen idea from Anthony Fantano. I'm a thief. I'm a little thiever. You guys seem to actually like it quite a bit, and I thought, I like doing this too, but I thought it would be a little bit more fun to do it live, so that way I could edit you guys into it in some way. I think it'll be fun. We're gonna be doing this every week or so, pop on by to the stream if you want to catch this live. If not, the video is here, and you're not an idiot. You know how to use a computer. You're not fucking Helen Keller. Does she know how? She's dead.
The Helen Keller joke.
That wasn't a joke. I just forgot. Was she around for computers?
I don't know.
Helen Keller is like a person that I don't fully know where she is historically. Like, if you told me Helen Keller died in 2003 or 1903, I'd believe both of those.
She died in 68.
That's in between. God damn it. I feel like a damn fool. 2015! We're back out of the slums. 2014 is a rough one. I know I saw a lot of people in the comments saying, well, what about this game? And what about that game? And the answer is, I don't like those. This might upset some people. I don't know how fervent the fan bases for some of these titles are, but we're going to get into it. So first we got Dying Light. Dying Light, if you don't know, I think it's Techland, I'm pretty sure. They made the original Dead Island, which was entirely fine, I guess, actually kind of shit. But they went on to do Dying Light. It's like a parkour kind of open world zombie slugfest. It's Dying Light is entirely serviceable. It might be a personal C for me. I feel like it's just okay.
I had fun with it the first time, but I didn't see any like real replay value.
It's like a fucking it's mostly a co-op thing. Like a lot of people swear by the co-op in it. Maybe I'm just a psycho, but I really miss Left 4 Dead like deeply, and I feel like no other. And Left 4 Dead's super simple, right? But there's something about it that was like a lot more approachable than this was. And I tried to play co-op in this game for like I think back when it came out I tried, and it was, I don't know, it was just like it didn't.
It's a low B, high C.
Yeah, you know what? I'll put it in B, and I'll put it at like the bottom. Parkour, it's zombies. It should be a lot better than it is, but it's not offensively bad. It's entirely fine. It's a serviceable game. Mirror's Edge meets Left 4 Dead, but it's, you know, it's ultimately okay. Star Wars Battlefront. Hey, remember Pandemic back in 2006 or 4 or whatever the fuck year that was? Remember when Battlefront was cool? So this came out in 2015, obviously, and it's not good. It's not. I'll say this though. I do remember playing the beta for this and having somewhat of a good time, but like, I don't even think this is like. Man, I feel like I should add more tiers to this. I don't know if it should be at the bottom necessarily. I feel like this is a big fat D. Oh yeah, and it had no campaign, so that was a fun little thing. You could be Vader, and you could lightsaber and flip around in the snow. It was kind of jank too, from what I remember. I think I actually did a video a long time ago playing it with my roommate Jalen at the time. Editor, pull that up.
Hey, a jet, man. Found this jet next to this broken jet.
Wow, it's real neat.
Yeah, man.
I'm gonna take it from
Oh, you piece of garbage.
Yeah, bitch. Whatever. Battlefront, that's a D.
I love me some big fat D's.
It's a big, fat, sweaty D. Yes, add a row below. Straight to F. We're skipping to F. Yeah, if it's gonna be E anyway, it might as well be a failure, you know? Like, what's the point of an E row? Next up, we got, oh, man. I'm not looking forward to this one. Next up, we have Bloodborne. From Software, pre-Sekiro. I think this was this in between Dark Souls 2 and Dark Souls 3? I think it was. Bloodborne has a really awesome art style. I really appreciate it for that. I think it is a very beautiful looking game. Of course, that is not taking into account that it runs at like 20 FPS on a PS4, and there's no way to play this at like a reasonable frame rate or resolution. You know, it's going back out of the list. You know,
out of the list.
Yeah. You know what? I'm not gonna place it anywhere. I'm scared, to be honest.
Don't be scared. You gotta take bold action.
I'm scared. I'm terrified.
When it comes to software games.
I'll say whatever I need, but like I'm scared of those people. No,
would you say it's better or worse than Dying Light?
It's better than Dying Light. I think, man. See, the thing is, like, I don't feel like it's an A, but I don't feel like it's worse than Dying Light. Like, I personally think Sekiro and Dark Souls 3 and certainly Elden Ring are far better games, even though I think Bloodborne has, like, a superior art style. I just didn't care too much for I don't know, there was something about Bloodborne that I just couldn't, and you know what? It honestly might be a frame rate thing. Now that I think about it, I'm a really huge frame rate snob, and I just cannot fucking deal. I cannot deal with sub 30. It's fucking impossible for me.
Put it high B.
We'll put it high B. And you know what?
High B.
Yeah. We'll put it high B for now. I just prefer Sekiro, okay? I liked Sekiro a lot more. I think Elden Ring's great. Dark Souls 3 I played for a little bit and had a decent amount of time with. I don't know. I just don't know. That's where I feel. That's where my heart is. Batman Arkham Knight. So Arkham, of course, legendary Rocksteady series. Arkham Asylum, I think, is Arkham Asylum, I think, is unironically, like, probably the best. I think it might be the best piece of animated Batman media that exists. I think it's up there with Mask of the Phantasm to me as just like a really fantastic just stylization of Batman, especially because it's designed like a really old school video game. It's designed it's not open world, you know. It's very, very cool. And then we got into Arkham City, and that was open world, and that was like very good too, although like arguably a little bit less focused. Still fantastic. Arkham Knight is a weird one because Arkham Knight, I feel like, is sincerely really good, but it fumbles really specific things. I think the art style of this game is fucking tremendous. I think Rocksteady was at the top of their game this entire trilogy. I think that game still looks gorgeous. And honestly, lately, I'm feeling a particular way about it because of that fucking Gotham Knights game that just came out and how much worse.
Oh yeah, it makes you appreciate it.
Yeah.
Just that much more. Arkham Knight was in the running for best art direction that year too.
It should. It should, because it's amazing art direction. Like, it looks way the fuck better. Like, significantly better than Gotham Knights. And Gotham Knights just came out. And, by the way, that's a next-gen only title. That's not even, like, one of those cross-generation... You know, God of War, everybody was like, oh, man, God of War is going to feel like a PS4 game. God of War looks fucking great in comparison to this... In comparison to Gotham Knights. And that runs at, like, 30. It's fucking... The art direction is shit. So I'm looking at this game a little bit differently than I looked at it on launch. I know the PC launch was fucked. That was a thing that happened. But I played it on console, and I didn't have that problem. So my experience with Gotham Knight, or Arkham Knight, was actually really positive. I liked what they did with the Joker. Although the story was like kind of predictable, I think it was overall a pretty solid game.
Yeah. I mean, they had the animated series voice cast for the game as well, so their performances were all fantastic.
It's just good. It is a good game. The worst part about it is that the Batmobile is so shit, and Batman is clearly killing people. He is clearly killing people. If you hit people with the Batmobile, it's so funny because the people go flying, but then there's like a little like electricity around them, implying that like, oh, they got tased out of the way. No, they're dead. Batman. I mean, to be fair, Batman kills people normally when he fights in that game. He's kicking normal ass people in the head. I don't know if you guys know this, but I'm 5'4", right? If I kicked you in the head, you would be having a really hard time. You'd be having a really rough moment. Okay? You could potentially be dead from that if I kicked you in the head. Batman is like what? 8'9" or something, or at least that's what I'm led to believe by that statue of him they have in Burbank. I really liked it. I thought it was really good, but those mandatory Batmobile sections kind of. I think spiritually it's a B. I think it is a B of a game. I just think it has some C grade decisions that are placed into it that kind of fumble the bag a little bit. I think the story's a little bit too predictable. I think the Batmobile is just so forced upon you that it becomes remarkably unfun. But it's got really solid art direction. It's got a great story, like presentation. It's got a great cast. Looks gorgeous. I would say it's a high C. Yeah, I don't know, man. Because now I'm looking at the list and now I'm feeling a little bit differently. I definitely like it more than Dying Light. Fuck me, you know what? I might move Dying Light to C and put the fucking Arkham on like low B. This looks more right to me. I can't believe Bloodborne is down this low. Hey man, it ain't Sekiro, right? Where's my jump button, baby? Where's my jump button? I want to jump around a little bit. Like that song at the beginning of Mrs. Doubtfire when he's about to get divorced. Have you ever thought about Mrs. Doubtfire in reverse?
Like starting out as like a good, like
yeah, like it starts out as like a movie about this successful television nanny who has like a really complicated relationship with this other family, and then she sort of like becomes a man and gets married into the family because she can't. It's a very bizarre. No one should think about movies this way. Never mind. Let's move on. Life is Strange. S tier. This was another. This is another video. This is another game that we did a video on. Editor, roll the clip.
Take another selfie.
Sorry, Max. No more selfies right now.
You talking to yourself, fucking maniac?
That's the first sign that you're playing a bad person.
Get the hell away from me, weirdo.
Just swatted him.
She waved him away. She fucking casted him to a fucking different realm. I don't think. Look, I'm not. Look.
I'm looking.
I don't think this is an F tier video game. I know that's like very easy. I know it's very easy to shit on a game like Life is Strange. It's not particularly great. It's really poorly written, but I finished it and I didn't regret finishing it. I even thought the second game was kind of okay, but I think It's not even a game. It's no, it's a game. I think the whole like is this or is this not a game thing kind of, I don't know. I feel like it's like an unnecessary conversation to have because ultimately like what really, I'll put it this, like there are turn-based RPGs that I would argue what's the game here. Like how are the original Final Fantasies games at all? Like you could argue that they're more similar to fucking DVD menus, you know? But that would be a ridiculous argument because we understand that there's more intrinsic value than just like scrolling through menus, picking something, and then watching an animation happen. Even though that's what that is. Man, it is better than Battlefront. It just is. it's just, I don't like it, but
well, I mean, how many lesbians were there in Battlefront?
Exactly. Only Darth Vader. I know that there are people here who are like, no way. It just is. It's not. I'm not saying it's good. All right. I'm not saying it's great even. I think it's entirely fine. It's an entirely inoffensive, poorly written game. And I gotta say, I had a lot more fun playing this game for a video than I did Battlefront 2. These are, weirdly enough, these are the only 2 videos I have, like, as far as, like, instead, like, outside of, like, Halo. These are the only 2 games that I have dedicated videos to on my channel. Battlefront 2, or Battlefront 1, and Life is Strange.
I don't think I've seen them. I have to go back and find them.
Well, that's why they didn't happen more often.
I'm pretty sure this kid has powers, right? Is she unique or is she like mentally disabled?
She's like a lesbian. I don't know if that's mentally disabled.
All right, next up. What do we got? Rise of the Tomb Raider. It's a Tomb Raider. I don't know how I feel about this one. The thing I will say, I was immensely bothered, and we'll get to this in the 2018-2019 video when it comes up. But I was kind of all about Tomb Raider when it was starting because I remember like the whole vision was, okay, this is the prequel. This is kind of like telling Lara's story before she became Tomb Raider, or before she became like the Tomb Raider that we know in the PS1 games. And by the end of the trilogy, she's going to be that like buxom badass, like fucking take no nonsense explorer bitch. And so
I remember it being marketed that way specifically.
Right. And I remember being like, you know what? I'm all about it. That's really cool. I'm down. First game was kind of like Uncharted. You know, it was very derivative of that. Although it, you know, you could argue that Uncharted is very derivative of Tomb Raider, so it's not too big of a deal. This was the in-between. This was the second one. And I remember playing this and thinking like, okay, you know, we're getting there. I can't wait. But I remember being like, I can't wait for the next one. Because the next one's going to be like, that's going to be the one, right? That's what I thought. I thought wrong. It's entirely a fine game. I don't know if it's... I feel like
is this the one that had the controversies around it, or was that the other one?
No, the first one was the one. Because the first one. And that was the one that was like, it was the first introduction to like Lara Croft's like death animations where she would like get like viscerally... That's one thing I will say about the Tomb Raider games. She dies in really fucked ways. I don't know, man. It's kind of hot. We're putting it in the bottom tier. We're putting it in bottom, low B, maybe high C. Is it better than Dying Light? Maybe not, honestly. I think it might be low C.
I would say Dying Light edges it out.
Yeah, I would say Dying Light's a little bit more. Like, Dying Light at least has, like, the parkour mechanics. Keep in mind, C doesn't mean, like, horrific. It just means, like, it's fine. B means good, A means great, S means fucking... Incredible. Let's go, Super Mario Maker. Did anybody play this? F! Super Mario Maker's an A. Super Mario Maker's awesome. I know, like, not a lot of people played this. Like, it's not, like, something that, like, a lot of people would consider even a game, really, because it's like a build-your-own kind of thing. But, like... Super Mario Maker is pretty fucking dope. Like, the ability to make your own shit, and you could make the most fucked levels in existence, and then just completely just emasculate people with them. It was like it was very fun just making shit. You could argue it's more of a tool than a game, but I don't know. It's a fun fucking tool. See, I knew it. I knew people are coming in. They're gonna be like, Bloodborne, where's Bloodborne in B? What's going on?
We could start D-ranking Bloodborne for every time.
Yeah, you know what? Actually, now I think about it, Bloodborne's kind of not as good as Tomb Raider because there's no hot deaths. When Bloodborne character die, me no get hard. F tier. F garbage. Trash.
No, I look, Bloodborne's okay. I just wildly prefer Sekiro and Elden Ring and Dark Souls 3 to Blood. I don't know. I like the aesthetic of Bloodborne, but it's just, I don't know, man. It's the 30 frames per second for me, honestly. If they just put Bloodborne on PC, I'd probably like it a lot more than I currently do. We got Halo 5 next.
All right, so are we judging Halo 5 by its multiplayer or by its story?
Okay, so here's the thing. We're not judging it based on we can't judge it based on the previous games in the series. We can only judge it based on the launch window, basically, and what the game was at the start. Halo 5 is sincerely, in my opinion, a very, very good first-person shooter. Actually, the story itself sucks a mondo dick. Okay? Not good. But I thought the mission design was significantly improved from 4. I thought the multiplayer was a lot more enduring in my like I had a good time playing Halo 5 for a lot longer than I played Halo 4 for. Still wasn't what a Halo game should be, but it's pretty good, you know. I think it's a bad fucking story. It is a bad story. The multiplayer it is really good, but they also kind of had this weird. They had this weird.
You know, actually, I think we got to put it in D, because I think we've had this discussion before about how they played up 5 and marketed it as something totally different than what it was.
You're right. No, you're right. That's the best case.
Yeah.
That's the best case. Because it was just straight up like a lie. It was just
they fucking lied.
And it wasn't like a clever lie where it's like, ooh, you know, like, oh, we play as Raiden in this one, or like, ooh, who's Arbiter for half the game? You know, it was like just Master Chief is in it for 3 missions. 3 missions. And the ad campaign was really good, by the way. They had a fucking radio drama called Hunt the Truth or something, and it was really well done. Like, sincerely, like, some of the best shit that's ever come out of the series came out of some random radio drama that they used to advertise this game with, and it had nothing to do with the game.
Yeah, and it just really, like, between that and the ad campaign, it set up, like, very different expectations for what you actually got, and not in a good way, you know?
No, it was total shit. Yeah, that alone really, you could argue that warrants an F. But I can't in my heart of hearts say it's worse than Life is Strange or Star Wars Battlefront. But it is definitely worse. It is definitely worse than Dying Light and Tomb Raider. So this list is making a lot of sense to me.
It's got to live with the consequences of its actions. We're being tough but fair.
Fallout 4. Oh.
Now
Fallout.
I'm inclined to be generous with Fallout 4. But that's, I don't know. I kind of judge that on the fact that even as recently as 2 months ago, I'm still playing Fallout 4 every so often.
Yeah.
I will still go back to it.
I mean, I'm going to say something that might be like a little bit weird. I think Fallout 4 is pretty good, to be honest. Like, I don't think it's as good of a Fallout game, obviously, as New Vegas or 3 were. But I went into Fallout 4 with pretty much no expectations, because like I played Fallout New Vegas and I enjoyed it, and I played Fallout 3 and I enjoyed it. I thought they were entirely fine. By the time I had played those games though, I had played Skyrim, and Skyrim was kind of like my red pill moment for that shit. It was like, oh my god, this is fucking crazy. I can't believe I've never experienced anything like this. So when I went back to 3 and New Vegas, you know, that wow moment wasn't as big. So when Fallout 4 was coming out, I was like, oh cool, another Fallout game.
Yeah, I had like no expectations for this game, and I went into it just really, I kind of liked being able to see all the stuff that just gets talked about in previous games, like, oh, this is what the world was like before. I'm a sucker for settlement building.
Oh man, you must have, yeah.
Not everybody...
Well, that makes sense why you enjoyed it a lot, because I hated that shit.
I love setting up my little fort and like getting behind my walls with my turrets and shit and just blasting the hell out of super mutants. I really enjoy it. And then it's like once I'm done, I can go play some of the story, and then I can come back. You know, it's great. I love it.
The reason why I have like a really fond memory of this game is because I remember really getting into it, specifically when I found the Silver Shroud.
Yeah.
That Silver Shroud side quest alone was some of the most fun I had in any video game. Just because it was, and it does have really good characters. I like Piper. I like Valentine. The main story is really stupid when you meet your son and he's older than you, and it's like fucking really dumb. But like a lot of the side stuff is really, really entertaining. And I don't know. I don't think it's as bad as people make it out to be. I think it's B. I think it's in the B. I think it's okay. I think New Vegas would be an S and Fallout 3 would be an A. You know, I think there's a lot to like about it. I think it's definitely not the ideal Fallout game, but I think what's there is entertaining and there is a lot of fun to be had, especially if you're a modder. Like, I know that we're not talking about like expansions or whatever, but like on day one you could mod the shit out of that game, and it was hilarious. Next we have Ori and the Blind Forest. This is S. I'm not even really gonna elaborate on that. It's just if you like Metroidvanias, if you like 2D side-scroller type games, if you are big into games that have fucking phenomenal art direction, you kind of owe it to yourself to play Ori.
Gorgeous.
It's
such a gorgeous game.
Ori and the Blind Forest is one of the most gorgeous fucking games I have ever played, and it's a fucking 2D side. I don't know how they... that's insane. That's insane to me. Like, I really fucking... Go play Ori. If you're watching the video of this, you're going to be seeing gameplay of this, and you're an idiot if you're not coming right now. You ever see the scene in Kung Pao when Steve Odekirk drinks all the milk out of the cow?
Yeah.
That's what you should be looking like, just from sheerly from losing your cum. That's you right now. This is you, or it should be anyway, if you're a sane person. Next up we have Undertale. I don't know how to feel about this one. Because, look, we're talking about this in the context of release. So we're not necessarily talking about how a fan base...
Yeah, Undertale was like a slow burn, wasn't it? Like,
yeah.
It took a while for it to really gain all that steam. And...
I feel like it was like 2019, 2018, where Undertale really started to get fucking what the hell. Like, really annoying.
That one song it's got is a bop, though.
Yeah, Megalovania is a good track. Yeah. Undertale is... I don't know. I think Undertale is very good. It didn't blow my mind in the way that I feel like it did for a lot of people.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, is like it just didn't do the same thing for me that it did for other people.
I don't know. What's the audience feeling? I feel like I'm going to have to defer to the audience on this one. It's S for me, C, F, C, high B, C, low B or high C. That's kind of, yeah. I think low B. I don't think it's a high C. Like, I definitely didn't like it more than Arkham Knight, but I did like it more than Dying Light. Next up, we got Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain. Look, this is gonna be upsetting to a lot of people. Metal Gear Solid 5 is fucking awesome. And before I see any whining in the fucking chat, okay? Before I see this, yes, the story is a mess. Yes, it is incomplete. Yes, Konami split the game up and sold like the first chapter of it the year prior, and they didn't let Kojima finish the ending. That is all very true. But as a stealth sandbox video game, which is kind of all that Metal Gear was trying to accomplish, like as far as like pure gameplay, like tactical espionage, it is just very, very fucking good. And I think this is, man, it can't be S tier purely because it is unfinished. And even though that's not, Kojima's fault, that's not the studio's fault, it's Konami's fault, that doesn't change.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. It doesn't change the fact that the game that we got is the game that we got. However, it is infinitely more complete than Halo Infinite currently is. So this is an easy A. This is an easy A for me, in my opinion. In my heart, this is an S tier video game. This is this is probably, honestly, it might be my favorite game that year. And it's just really fucking good. If you're a stealth fan at all, you owe it to yourself to give it a try at least. You know, because we don't get a lot of stealth games. We still don't get a lot of stealth games. The only thing that I can think of even recently is like Plague Tale, which is, by the way, very good, but it's the only one that we got. Metal Gear's gone. Splinter Cell's gone. Siphon Filter's gone. And by the way, I felt this way before I really liked Kojima. I actually felt this way despite the fact that I really hated Metal Gear Solid 4. Look, all I'm saying is, have you seen Quiet? Have you seen Quiet? Never mind. I'm changing it. S tier. S tier. Fuck you guys, actually. Fuck you. Fuck you all. In fact, you know what? There we go.
What are you doing?
There we go. Just go ahead. There we go. Now it's a tier list.
I love how just like vehemently contrarian this list has become.
Last but not least, we don't have this live on stream. We'll superimpose it. I'm just gonna move my mouse around to tell you where it is. We're gonna Witcher 3 Wild Hunt. I'm not gonna lie, I fell off of The Witcher about 40 times. I don't know why exactly. It's not because I didn't love what was there. I just kept getting pulled away from everything. Like, I just kept getting pulled away by everything else. Something would come out, and then I would stop playing The Witcher, and then I would start The Witcher again, and then I'd be like, fuck, I'm so deep into The Witcher, but I don't remember what I was doing. I'm going to have to start again. And then I would do that kind of over and over and over again. Not because the game was bad, but just because I had I have a really awkward relationship with The Witcher 3. But
it's like an RPG curse too, because that happens a lot with just RPGs in general.
Yeah, but it happened a lot with The Witcher to me. Like, I don't know what it was. It was like that. I played that game 6 times, and I have never beaten it. But that said, Witcher 3 is very easily an S tier game. I think Witcher 3 it is the game that kind of, just the side quests of it, and although I don't think it plays particularly well, like from a gameplay perspective, I do think its combat is pretty well thought out. I do think its world is very well thought out, and I do think its characters are very well fleshed out to the point where it's just it's a very impressive triumph of game dev. This is the list. This is the list, everybody. This is 2015. Some pretty monumental stinkers here, but I feel like there was a lot more positives this year than there was in the year prior. I mean, Tomb Raider is pretty low on this list, but even Tomb Raider is like entirely enjoyable. Dying Light's a really solid video game. Undertale, Arkham Knight. But yeah, so that's the list. I know it's a little contentious. I don't love Bloodborne as much as other people do, but I think it's a pretty fair list.
I did want to mention one thing on here that may have flown under the radar for us.
Oh,
and it's only because it kind of irritates me, and that's Splatoon, because it took Best Shooter that year.
Splatoon
took Best Shooter that year.
All right, well, let's add it. Oh, and that's how Jeffrey Epstein died. Hey, everybody. Thanks for making it to the end of the video. I hope you had some fun watching this video. It's not a crazy big one, but it's fun little stuff that you can participate with me live over on twitch.tv/ChrisRaygun. Come on over. I stream kind of all the time. And we'll be doing these live pretty regularly. I wanted to do it once a week, but, you know, sponsor kind of approval and deadlines like that kind of, I don't know, that kind of mixes things up a little bit. But, yeah, I'll see you soon with some more of this, but also something a little special. And to those of you who haven't been unsubscribing en masse, I appreciate you. You are the best. And yeah, I'll catch you.